Have you ever stopped to think just how much your life experience is actually worth? Not in terms of a salary or a paycheck, but as real, transferable, monetizable value that could change your life and the lives of others forever. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need millions of followers. What you need is the courage to believe that what you've been through, your struggles, your triumphs, your years of hard-earned lessons, can become the foundation of wealth. Let's begin by reframing how we think about value. You see, we're conditioned to think value only comes from outside, from universities, from employers, from status. But the most impactful value comes from within, and more specifically, from experience. Every mistake you've made, every challenge you've overcome, every job you've worked, every problem you've solved. These are not just memories. They are marketable. Experience is knowledge refined by time. And knowledge, when packaged correctly, becomes a product, a service, a business, a legacy. Let me ask you this. What do people naturally come to you for? Advice, guidance, motivation, tutorials? How to do something better, faster, smarter? That is your signal. You already have the raw materials. Now, it's about learning how to build with them. Let's dive into the powerful ways you can turn your experience into income, ethically, sustainably, and meaningfully. First, identify your zone of value. This is the intersection of what you've experienced, what you've overcome, and what others need help with. Write it down. Reflect on it. Find the patterns. Have you survived a toxic workplace and learned how to navigate career change? Have you raised a child while working full-time? Have you built something from scratch? There is a market for your insights, because someone out there is 5 steps behind you and would pay to get where you are faster. Second, document. Don't just do. Start recording what you know, not just in your mind, but on paper, on camera, in audio. Whether it's writing blog posts, recording short videos, posting on social media, or creating a podcast, start sharing your perspective. Because when you document your experience, you create assets. A tweet thread could turn into a course. A blog post could turn into a book. A podcast episode could lead to consulting opportunities. The point is, experience only becomes profitable when it's visible. Next, let's talk about positioning. You're not just sharing your story. You're solving a problem. You're becoming a trusted voice. This is where most people get stuck. They think, who am I to teach anything? Let me remind you, you only need to be a few steps ahead of the person you're helping. You're not pretending to be an expert on everything. You're simply guiding others through a journey you've already walked. This is why the market for coaching, consulting, teaching, digital products, and personal brand monetization is growing exponentially. Because people want real guidance from real people, not just theory, but lived experience. Let's say you've mastered budgeting after years of debt. That's not just your story. That's a system, a framework, a path that someone else desperately needs. When you package that knowledge into a simple ebook, course, or workshop, you're creating value that compounds. Now, let's go deeper. How do we actually monetize this? Here are some practical strategies. 1. Coaching and mentorship. If you're good at helping people get results, start with one-on-one coaching. You don't need a massive audience. Just 5 clients paying $200 per month is already a $12,000 per year side income. 2. Digital products. Turn your knowledge into templates, checklists, guides, and courses. They take time to build once, but can sell over and over with minimal upkeep. 3. Consulting. If your work experience is in demand management, marketing, tech, HR, finance, you can offer consulting packages. Companies pay well for real-world insight. 4. Content creation plus personal brand. Use YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, or TikTok to share short insights. Build trust. Attract an audience. Then offer premium products or services. 5. writing and speaking. Pitch articles. Write books. Get paid to speak. Your experience can educate and inspire in multiple formats. 6. Online communities and memberships. Create a paid community around your niche, support, guidance, exclusive content. People pay for connection and clarity. 7. Licensing and affiliate marketing. If you've developed a method, tool, or strategy, others may want to use it. You can license your system or promote relevant tools you believe in. And here's the real secret. It all starts by believing your knowledge is valuable. Most people never monetize their experience, not because they lack skills, but because they undervalue what they've lived through. Stop waiting for external validation. You've earned your insights. Now, let's talk about something deeper. Purpose. When you monetize your knowledge, you're not just making money. You're building meaning. You're helping others. You're giving back. You're turning pain into purpose, mistakes into lessons, and time into transformation. Every hour you spent learning something the hard way can now save someone else months of frustration. Every time you wanted to quit, but didn't, become someone else's motivation to keep going. Experience is the currency of credibility. In a world full of noise, your authenticity is your edge. People crave real stories with real solutions. So let me ask you, what's something you've overcome that others are still struggling with? That's your niche. What's something you've spent years learning that others want to master faster? That's your product. What's something you love talking about even when nobody's paying you? That's your brand. And when all three align, knowledge, passion, and demand, you've found your sweet spot. Start small. Share one insight a day. Teach one person what you know. Build one product that solves one specific problem. Success doesn't come from viral moments. It comes from consistent value. Remember, every successful educator, coach, or creator you admire started with just one thing: a decision. A decision to stop hiding. A decision to stop doubting. A decision to start building. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. Because the moment you stop seeing your experience as just life and start treating it as an asset, everything changes. You become the business. You become the brand. You become the teacher, the leader, the expert. And eventually, you become the proof that experience is not only your greatest asset, but also your greatest gift to the world.